All right, let's take a look at the field value of the custom column that we just created. So you can take a look at any column head, and we can then go to column preferences and take a look at this custom column we created called host. And let me maximize everything right here. And then I can maximize this. I can expand upon the field. Hopefully I can. And, okay, here we go. This is what I want. All right, http.host or tls.handshake.extensions_server_name. So this is a legitimate thing that it took, and although it says there's 0 field occurrences. All right, I just wanted to make that, and what I had was having a problem with what I was having issues with before was I think I put handshake extension as opposed to plural, and it was not giving me the chance to fix it without some doing, because once if you make a mistake under the field custom expression field right here, it's difficult to change. Anyway, so that was the issue, and it seems to be working okay even though there's no occurrences. All right. Now let's go back and reflect on the fact that what you need to type is right here anyways. http.host or tls handshake.extensions_server_name. Now, if you're getting an issue with it, just keep in mind, make sure you have that exact spelling. And here it is more clearly right here. http.host or tls.handshake.extensions_server_name. Make sure extensions is plural, not singular. Now, once you do that, we're going to go to hiding columns. Okay, so when you can right click on any and uncheck the columns you don't want to see. So here we can hide my source address and source port columns. Okay, and once you do that, your end result should look something like this, where you just have time, destination, port, host, and info. So let's do that here. So I'm just going to right click anywhere on here, and we can go to column preferences, and I'm going to just hide source and hide source port. All right. And then we could go to apply and then OK. So I apologize. You may not have seen that on the screen, but the OK was underneath the recordable real estate, and I apologize for that. Okay, but you should see something like time, destination, port, host, and info. So we have time, destination, port, info, and then host. Okay, and let me do something here. Column preferences, and let's see. And let me go back here. I thought I saw something. Okay. And go to edit. All right, I was just making sure of something. Anyways, we could go back. So we hid the source address and source port. Okay, now we can search. We can create a filter expression. Okay, and that is when we right here, we take a cursor and we go right here. So here is the source, here's the expression, http.request. Or tls.handshake. Dot type equals 1. Dot type EQ1 and is not SSDP. Close the parentheses, and is not SSDP. SSDP. And we have to remember SSDP is in parentheses. Okay, so to enact the filter, what we do is, let me just move this over. We depress the arrow right here, or we press enter. Okay, and now we can get, we have our destination, or excuse me, our time, our destination IP, our destination port, the information, and we have the host information right here. And let me move this over. Okay, and one of the domains it goes to is, it goes to www.volkerbowling.net. We double click on it. We see now we can go to the very beginning of today's lecture, in that this is the physical, this is the data link, because we're dealing with really one of the main data link or layer 2 technologies, which is Ethernet 2. We have ICP v4, or this would be the internet layer or networking layer. The next layer, of course, is TCP IP, or the transport layer. In this case, of course, it is a TCP protocol, because HTTP and HTTPS both require the other side to be up before sending information. And then we have HTTP, or which is port 80. Okay, so here's all the information that we need about for the application layer in the TCP/IP model. Okay. Now we can do the same thing. Now we can actually create a search filter expression. Okay. So we can save, commonly used search filter expressions as display button. Okay. So we type in a filter in the display filter bar, click on the plus sign at the far right, and then type in the name of your filter button. Okay. So let's do that on mine. Okay. And let me move this over. This is the plus sign on this. So we'll left click it once. And then we'll label it as, I'll just call it basic. That's a basic web filter command. Okay. And just so you know, why do we want to exclude SSDP? Looking at this, it says SSDP is Simple Services Discovery Protocol. It is used, it's a Microsoft protocol that exists on the host. So it's not something that we really care about when it comes to, I'm going to say, make ensuring that we have the web traffic and just the web traffic, nothing germane to the operating system itself. We're not caring about anything regarding Windows. So if we remove the SSDP out of the way, that just gives us a more filtered account for a web. I'm going to say a web request. Okay, so now we click the plus sign, and then we filled in. We made sure that this filter part was filled in properly, and all we have to do is click on basic. Okay, and then we're just going to go to OK. All right, and as you can see, anytime we want to run this filter right here, I'm going to X this out. Anytime we just click on basic, and then it runs it. See it? This is without the filter. And, well, without the filter, we have to go all the way down here. And we kind of have to hunt for the various pieces of information, right? But if we click on basic, we get a more streamlined look at the various things we're looking for. And one of the things we want to look for is we want to see all the hosts that the gentleman went to, that is most indicative of the traffic for this packet trace. And we can see right off the bat, Volker is one of them, and W. Ivanu. Okay. This would be related to it. This would definitely be related to it. All right. And, okay, now what we can do is a little personal exercise is if we can allow us to reference a fairly complex set of instructions right here, and if we can associate that to a button, okay, imagine what we could do by having an unlimited set of buttons. So here is basic, okay. We can also program basic plus, which might be HTTP request or TLS handshake dot type equivalent to 1, or TCP flags equivalent to 0x00002, okay? And we can also create a button for basic and DNS, which allows us to do the same thing, and then add or DNS. So go ahead and do that on your own.